We are also streaming online, and we have some patient people online that we can't, some important and patient people online that we really can't hold anymore. So I welcome you again to this, the launch of the Jamaica Stock Exchange Group Telethon 2023. Last year we had a very successful event, as I'm sure Dr. Forrest will just mention in her brief comments. And the support was excellent. However, the job is incomplete, so we have to press on as we establish sustainability in the social sector. So we will begin first by asking none other than Mr. DeMario McDowell. Welcome, Bishop Thomas, to come and lead us in the singing of the national anthem. Please be standing.
Please stand. Let us pray. Eternal Father, bless our land. Guard us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. To our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica land we love. Jamaica, Jamaica, Jamaica land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us, the weak to cherish. Give us vision lest we perish. Knowledge send us, Heavenly Father. Grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica land we love. Jamaica, Jamaica, Jamaica land we love.
Amen. Thank you very much, DeMario. I'm now going to ask Bishop Alvin Bailey, Bishop Dr. Alvin Bailey, President of Jamaica Evangelical Alliance, to come and do the prayer for us.
Can we stand for prayer, please? The Bible says, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. And unless the Lord keeps the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. Let us bow our hearts before the Lord. Our Lord and our God, we come to you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. We praise and we adore your matchless name, for you are God and there is none else. O God, we thank you for your goodness, for your mercy, and for your grace. We thank you, O God, for your enabling, for sound mind, and how, God, you have given us the wisdom and the understanding to engage in the processes that advance your kingdom. We thank you, God, for the heart to care for organizations and individuals who are less fortunate. And we pray, God, that you will enable our efforts, enable the efforts that we represent here today, O God. We pray in the name of Jesus Christ that beyond our own human support and resources, you will work a miracle like you did with the 5 loaves and 2 fish. We pray in the name of Jesus Christ that, Lord, you will give us the ingenuity to do that which will cause us to exceed our targets. Lord God, to do exceeding abundantly above that which we can ask or even think. So we acknowledge your presence with us. Guide and guard all we will do today as we give you thanks. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you very much, Bishop Bailey. We will now ask our Managing Director, Dr. Marlene Street Forrest, to come and give the official welcome and her opening remarks. This one? Yes.
Andre, do you have the protocol? You have the protocol list?
No, I don't. This is the program.
Okay. Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Andre Gooden, Group Business Development Manager. Bishop Dr. Alvin Bailey, President of the Jamaica Evangelical Alliance. Dr. Kadamina Knife, JSSE Director. Dr. Donovan Thomas from Shalom Mental Health and Wellness. Dr. Donald Rod, Love Changes Life. Dr. Henley Morgan, from Agency for Inner City Renewal, and also one of the directors of the JSSE. Professor Neville Ying, Chairman of the JSSE. Honorary Consul Chris Chaplin, he's online. Consul General Oliver Mayer, also online. Bishop Everton Thomas, and he's from Bishop Emmanuel Apostolic Temple. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me extend to you a warm Social Stock Exchange welcome. I want to thank you for attending the launch of the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange Yuletide Telethon 2023. It is certainly a pleasure to have you here this morning to share in this moment where we are launching the telethon. We are excited about the opportunity aimed at encouraging all Jamaicans and actually lovers of Jamaica to support the social projects that are seeking funding through the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. And as you know, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange is a subsidiary of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. This year, December 15 to 17, we hope to provide you throughout the telethon with all the reasons you should support this call for action, and even why the Jamaica Stock Exchange, as a company, we are involved in ensuring that there is a regulated entity which allows voluntary organization and enterprises with a social purpose to raise funds. The Jamaica Stock Exchange, Social Stock Exchange, was launched in January 2019, And we have been working with social entities, government, non-governmental organizations to provide a platform that allows participation for everyone. You know, sometimes we say, how can we participate? How do we know that when we participate, the monies will be used for what it is intended? Well, because we know that that has been a concern, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange was launched. Last year was our inaugural Yuletide Telethon, and we really were inspired by the love, the outpouring of love and encouragement, and really giving. We raised last year 17 million, and it is important to say what we raise in cash. But it is really more so what we got out of it. We saw the care, and we saw persons committing their time, their effort, and their talent to something that is worthy. So we saw Jamaica dig deep and provided that encouragement that we could say, let us do it again this year. We were able to list three projects on the Social Stock Exchange: Choose Life, Love Changes Life, and Agency for Renewal, their projects. Having listed, what we have found is that the projects have done what they are supposed to do in starting that change process. And we want to continue with that by the raising of the $40 million, so that the social intervention will touch so many more persons. You will hear more about that this morning from our manager for the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. So on behalf of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, we want to thank everyone who supported the telethon then, that was last year, and we want to ask now that you give generously for this year's fundraising event. We thank you for your giving spirit, and in closing, I'd especially like to recognize the churches who have offered to assist us in carrying the message of the reason the Jamaica Stock Exchange and the annual Yuletide event are important. This is important for showing love, creating hope, and a better future for our people. So I really want to encourage you to step up and keep hope alive. As I said before, target is 40 million, and this is possible only if we participate. And we are counting on your generosity. Again, I want to warmly welcome you to this press launch and encourage you even today, if you have not started as yet, to start giving. Although the telethon is Friday, you can all start to participate, and we have had donations, generous donations already, and we are thankful for that, and we just want to see more coming. Again, thank you for your time and your effort. Have a good day.
Thank you, Dr. Forrest. Dr. Forrest did mention that we have already received several pledges and donations, and I must mention them. We have had support so far from Sagicor Group, Scotia Group, Stanley Motor, Jamaica Social Investment Fund, Dr. Everton Thomas himself, Bishop, Emmanuel Apostolic, Design Privacy Limited, Access Financial Services, Honeybun, AMG Packaging, the Fontana Group, the Greater Grace Temple, JFC Limited, Consolidated Bakeries, and just this morning, Patterson Mayor Hamilton. We have, I know, a few people in the audience who also have pledges. Those of you who want to donate online, our laptops are here. There's one right behind, at the back of the room there, if you wish to assistance to go online and make your own donations, debit and credit card, you will be able to do so. I see Mr. Wayne Ray is here. And I think he has two things to announce. One, the name of his new company, and another special announcement. So I'm going to ask you to welcome Mr. Ray at this time.
Mr. Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Andre Gooden, Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest, other executives and officers of the Jamaica Stock Exchange and the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, invited guests, members of the clergy, ladies and gentlemen, all, good morning. Good morning. I'm so happy to be here, not necessarily for what the Master of Ceremonies have said, but also because whether I'm an individual, a Jamaican citizen, a volunteer, or a corporate citizen, I support the principles and the giving that is embodied and incorporated in the social stock exchange. It brings us all together and for a common and a collective good. But my presence here is primarily on this occasion to make a pledge on behalf of the new Innovative Energy Group, formerly known as Siboney Group, as we embark on our journey through Jamaica and the Caribbean. And that pledge is one of $250,000 that we would want to. Thank you. And that is on behalf of our chairman, Mr. Nigel Davey, and the other board of directors. So thank you very much for having me, and I share with your joy and expectations of what is to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ray. So our first pledge coming in today, our second pledge coming in today is for $250,000. And we thank you very much for that contribution. Nicole, just touch base with Wayne there for me and make sure him sign the pledge form before him leave. All right, Dr. Knife, who I describe, among other things, as a social economist, director of the JSSE, and Dr. Kadamawi Knife is going to share with us very briefly the Vision 2030, the Sustainable Goals, why this is our responsibility, why sustainability is necessary, and why social intervention is the way to go to build our economy. Dr. Knife, welcome.
Let me just start by endorsing everything that the JSSE and JSE, the mother company, is actually doing. Really crucial. You know, if you look at what I have right there, is about how you monetize and measure value creation by a social services sector organization. And the JSSE plays a very crucial role in that in terms of signaling and a number of other elements. If you look at the development context, we're talking about the Sustainable Development Goals, what Vision 2030 actually is, and we're actually revising and updating the current national MSME policy. Chapter 6 in particular will be expanded, not just to speak about social enterprise, about the overall social services sector. The current work being done, a lot of work being done by the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, as you know. Yes, there's a social enterprise working group, and there's a finalization of legislation to recognize social enterprises, and people must know that Nora is a part of the team that has been doing a lot of work in trying to get this thing done. And there's a working group to evidence how we contribute to the GDP and the GNP. But this is not a new idea. If you look at things like Marcus Garvey created his own organization in 1914. If you look at the model for the UNIA, it's the same kind of model they're trying to develop, whereby you establish an organization, mission-driven, but you need to sustain the operations of the organization by an independent and diversified income stream. So we're talking about real businesses. So though we're saying you're looking at creating social value, you really need to operate businesses with even better business practices than the regular businesses, because there's an element of trust. which is crucial to it. But when the money is generated, the revenue is generated is used to fulfill the mission of the organization, but also to reinvest in the business to grow and sustain it. In essence, if you're going to create good for people, it takes a lot of money to do that. So you're driven by your mission and not just by the enterprise component. And you'll see that Marcus Garvey had this share certificate for the Black Star Line. But important, look at the SDGs. The first 6 SDGs are the foundation of the SDGs. No poverty, zero hunger. You know, you have access to world-class education, health, gender, and of course, a clean environment. If you think about traditional businesses, the focus of a traditional business is generally on your bottom line, how to generate profits. Even though we know that there's a shift in the culture of businesses now because we recognize that that alone is unsustainable. Evidence today by the amount of private sector organizations who are making pledges to support social value creation. It means then you have to find an organization whose core focus and core mission is on these elements in the SDGs. If you look at Vision 2030, you know, Jamaica's economy is prosperous, the people are empowered to achieve their full potential, this is secure and cohesive, and the environment is clean. When you ask yourself again, what is the main focus of a traditional business? You can see clearly how it connects to goal number 3. But in terms of the empowerment and the cohesiveness in terms of the society and the environment, this will have to be created by the CSR arm of those private organizations or their foundations, where we see a lot of those foundations now, or importantly, by other organizations who focus on this as their core mission. And we can see where we align our Vision 2030 goals to the broader SDGs as well. So we recognize that what we want for Jamaica is synchronized what is needed for the globe. But again, you ask yourself, which organizations have that as their core focus and their core operation? It look at 3 different areas in terms of social development, biodiversity issues, social imperatives, and of course, the economic imperatives. Again, what the JSSC is doing is raising capital, raising funding to support entities who can address all 3 elements. That is your core mission. I'm arguing that we cannot attain any Vision 2030 or the SDGs without a very robust and dynamic ecosystem for the social services sector. And this that is being done by the JSSC is extremely important because 1, it sends a strong signal that these persons are credible, and 2, it offers a network into a broader ecosystem that supports the growth and scaling of these organizations. It's clear that we redefine what we call progress in society. Look at the social progress framework by Porter. You cannot use the traditional GDP or GNP, so I'm talking about basic human needs, foundation of well-being and opportunities. These are not things that go and purchase in our traditional market space. And when we look at the research that was done from 2017, 2018 in terms of what drives these SEs, look at their core function, community empowerment. These are the things that are linked to the SDGs. Economic prosperity, environmental stewardship. If you look at the other slides, who are the targeted beneficiaries? Young people, people in a particular geographic area in our community. This is what the research is showing you, how your organization uses the surplus. They look at economic creation, which is important, but the sum of all the other factors is 53%. Social value creation, benefits to individuals and shareholders. And look at how them create value, which is the other side, social value creation. They are addressing social, cultural, economic, or environmental problems faced by societies. So again, if you look at these slides and think about the SDGs and think about Vision 2030, you'll see clearly how these organizations support the long-term development agenda of the country, but we must be able to measure it. So I've developed tools like the social rate of return on investment. We look at 3 different indices. Yes? The enterprise, because the money is important. Do not believe because you're thinking of a social mission, you don't take the business serious. It has to be very serious. But the value creation in terms of social purpose value created gives what is called a blended value. And this is what makes a difference. Because attaining Vision 2030 and the SDGs, it requires a blended value approach. Because it's not only about the economics, it's about how do we improve the quality of lives of persons. And this is what these organizations bring to us. And there are ways in which you can calculate it to monetize the value creation of what you have done. But importantly, remember that these are organizations that are contributing to the GDP of the country as well. So if you look at the diagram, which speaks to the theory of aggregate demand, the traditional aggregate demand is about household spending, which is C, private people spending, which is I, government expenditures and exports minus imports. However, whenever a country-based organization gets funding, what do they do with it? They spend it on the beneficiaries. So it naturally integrates into the broader economic system, but more direct. It's not a trickle-down. It's a direct benefit because you are located close to where the targeted beneficiaries actually are. So essentially, money spent in the social services sector is an investment. While it might have some level of altruism and charity, fundamentally, it is an investment. It's an investment in people's life, and an investment in people's community. And it's the most serious form of investment because it's not just impacting one's man's pocket. You have to have a rippling positive multiplier effect. And if you have time, we could show how you generate these savings, etc. Yes, but it creates that. So what are the key success factors? So if we have 10 minutes, I've reached 8 minutes. Yeah, make sure we time it to the stopwatch. But importantly, what are the key success factors? You know, in some cartoons, I'm saying great power comes great responsibility. When you do good work, you don't have to do more work. And that's what's happening now with Nora and our team, you know, in the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. In the updated policy, which I'm actually updating the policy for the country as well, one of the first recommendations we have written is that there needs to be a unit established at the JSE to deal with the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange because of the scale and size and what is going to be required. And also because of the value that it can create. And a lot of work needs to be done now, right, in terms of how we look at monitoring and evaluating these things and creating all the metrics and using the metrics to show what is contributing to what is happening in the country. And must be scalable to support not just social enterprise, but the overall social services sectors. And many of your partners who are contributing in Telethon have their own endowments or their foundations and are doing a lot of positive work. You know, so it has to be supporting that yourself and Charmaine. I mean, you have a lot of work to do. Gathering the data, keeping the data, extremely important. And your platform creates a space for data gathering. But importantly and finally, consistent monitoring and evaluation of the national MSME and entrepreneurship policy. Yes? And why do I say that? Because recommendations are going to be made in the policy. Organizations are going to be assigned as duty bearers. And unless the organizations carry out their task and aid in the supervision of, all these plans will come to naught. You know what? In reality, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. JSSC has made 2 giant steps, you know, and that's that we are going to continue. And based on the work being done, not only by the JSSC, but all the players who are out there in the social enterprise working group and the ecosystem, I have no doubt that we'll attain and surpass some of the things on the Vision 2030 and the SDGs, even if it takes longer than 2030. But we must do it. Give thanks.
Thank you very much, Dr. Knife, the architect of social entrepreneurship and sustainability, very key. Now, we have an actual song that has been created, a recording, a production that has been created for this telethon. And we're now going to ask Kemar to just play it one time. Dr. Knife, you can tell me your opinion of the song. If you want to get up and dance, you can do that too. But we thought it was a very good production, and we would love to share it here. Welcome to everyone just coming in. Welcome to the persons watching us live on CBX. That's channel 143 on Flow, channel 28 on Digicel, and also live on www.jamstockx.com. Also, thank you to our other broadcast partners. CVM Television will be carrying excerpts, live and recorded segments of the telethon this weekend, 15th to the 17th on CVM. Ready? Kemar, almost ready? Oh, there's a car outside 0875HX. need you to move it, please. There's someone you're blocking who needs to leave. 0875HX. Ready, Kemar? Also want to, while we wait, just to again thank our generous donors so far. And just to let you know, we have received a pledge from the Honorable Michael Leachin, chairman of the NCB Financial Group. So the pledges are coming in. Thank you very much, Honorable Michael Leachin. And please, all the persons and institutions that have donated so far are the leaders. Please be a leader and join them as well. We have, anybody who wants to donate online, our laptops are at the back there where we can assist you to log in and to donate by debit and credit card. And those who are listening and watching can go to jsscja.com and make your donation online as well. All three projects are listed, and the JSSC General Project is also there for you to donate to. Go ahead, Kemar, please. This production created specifically for the telethon.
Wake up and step up, Jamaica. There's work to be done. Let's put social decay on pause. Step up and donate to the cause. Where there's a will, there's a way. So never say nay. Give what you can today. Come sing with me and say, wake up and step up, engines of change. Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, JSSC. Keeping hope alive so our nation can thrive. Let's build a really good vibe. Give what you can. Make it part of your plan. From the 14 parishes to the diaspora, Jamaican people have the power. Let's build our communities, empower the youths. Extend a lifeline, it's not suicide time. No, 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 no. Bring happiness to our schools and homes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way. So never say nay. Give what you can today. Come sing with me and say, wake up and step up, engines of change. Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, JSSC. Keeping hope alive so our nation can thrive. Let's build a really good vibe. Give what you can. Make it part of your plan.
That's a very good effort. Very good effort. Kind of catchy. So we'll be playing it through the day and over the weekend as well. So thank you very much for that production. Clunis, could you say who the artist actually is? Her name is Kadia.
Yes.
Excellent job by Kadia there. Thank you very much. Okay, very quickly now, we're going to move on. We're going to, as I said, we have 3 projects currently listed on the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, for which we are trying to raise the additional funding so that they can set up their sustainable growth programs. And we're going to ask each of the 3 heads of those projects to come up and briefly highlight what their project is, what the progress has been made so far, and what else we can expect in the other phases of the project. First, I'm going to ask Dr. Donovan Thomas from Choose Life International to speak on his project of mental health and wellness. Please welcome Dr. Thomas.
Mr. Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Andre Gooden, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the protocol having already been observed, I will just get to the content. Every 40 seconds, somebody dies by suicide in our world. The reports out of Jamaica is that there has been a 26% increase in the number of deaths by suicide in 2022 compared to 2021. We all hurt because of the recent loss of a baby girl, 5-month-old, who was allegedly thrown from a 2-story building by her mom following a conflict. As we look at our Jamaican society, people are traumatized. There's a cry for help, and sometimes we feel powerless. There is a call for greater happiness. Choose Life International aims to empower people through the Shalom Project in 5 areas: suicide prevention, conflict resolution, trauma intervention, basic skills in counseling, and the art and science of happiness. Raise your hand if you're among those who can do with a little more happiness in your life. The others of you, like Alvin Bailey, raise your hand for prayer. People are hurting, and we want to come through and to be able to touch them where they are hurting. As we have envisioned this project, the idea is that there's going to be a community element and there's going to be a school element. And we started with the schools. We were involved in training people from 21 schools. Can you imagine the heartache and difficulty we had when we realized that the funding only allowed us to execute in 10 schools? And so we have started with those 10 schools, but we have another 11 schools who are waiting in line for this happiness club to take place in their schools. And we are calling upon all of you to help us to help rescue Jamaica. We are working right now with Kingston College, St. George's College, Beulah All-Age School, St. Patrick Primary School, Lawrence Tavern Primary School, Charlie Mount High School, Roger Clark High School, Nakalva Polytechnic College, Cedar Grove Academy, Windward Road Primary and Junior High Schools. The facilitators have been trained, and we are preparing 500 change agents in our schools who will be empowered to be able to help others, that they don't need to call a helpline, that they'll be out in their community when they can say, listen, you don't have to fight it out, you can talk it out. When they say, I feel like I want to kill myself, you don't want to tell them, say, go ahead now, your brother will get more dumpling. But we want to be able to teach people to be able to respond appropriately. There's a cry for help that comes from within and comes from without. And for the last 11 years, Choose Life International has been teaching the course called the Art and Science at the Micro University, preparing teachers for the classroom, and what a transformation it has been. All of these 5 elements captured in the Shalom Project are areas that have been tried and proven over the last 10 years. And we believe that as a package, it has that power to be able to transform lives. One of the strategies for helping people to enjoy better happiness is to help them to forgive. A young man sent me a note this week. When I looked, he said to me on that note, Dr. Thomas, you remember this? When I looked, it was one of my scribbles during a counseling session. And I said, oh, those look like my scribbles. And he said, it's not just your scribbles. Those are the notes that empower me to be able to help live a more fulfilled life. And on that section, on the forgiveness, we were talking about forgiving self, forgiving his father, forgiving his mother, and forgiving his stepmother. Having forgiven, he is able to live a happier life. I want to ask you to help us, to help our fellow Jamaicans to live a more fulfilled life and a happier life. Thank you. Shalom.
Thank you, Doc. Dr. Thomas, we have a little endorsement video that we're going to show now. You remember a little preview on the project and some endorsements. I will just ask Kemar if you could just run those now, please. Ready? There are 2 cars outside that we ask you to move, please. 6937JA, a BMW, and 6748JF, a Civic, Honda Civic, blocking someone who needs to leave. So if you can, please assist. 6937JA, black BMW, and Honda Civic 6748JF. Thank you. So how do we donate to support these projects? Thank you again, Dr. Thomas. jsscja.com. You can go on to the website and the information, click donate on the particular project or on the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange General Funds, and you'll be able to enter your credit and debit card. Anybody here who wants to donate, we have our machines at the back. You can go online yourself and make your pledge. We will be here, we will be live on Friday from 1 till 5, Saturday 10 till 5? No. Saturday and Sunday also till 5. So join us. We'll be live on CBX and we'll be on CVM TV as well throughout the weekend. jsscja.com. All information on the projects are there, and we ask that you donate. All right, we're going to move on. We'll do the videos after, the summaries after, and we're going to ask Dr. Donald Rudd, Love Changes Life, the Praise Jamaica Foundation, to share the details of the project, which we have started, and we need some more funding for. Dr. Rudd.
I'm Donald Rudd, the Managing Director of Stop the Violence, Love Changes Lives program. I'm appealing to you on behalf of the Jamaican
children.
I'm Donald Rudd, the Managing Director of Stop the Violence, Love Changes Lives program. I'm appealing to you on behalf of the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange's annual telethon to contribute significantly to this program, which will help a child or children to learn pro-social values, and let us begin to stop the violence and antisocial behavior in our country. Your dollar is important. Your contribution will help a child. I'm Donald Rudd, the Managing Director of Stop the Violence, Love Changes Lives program. I'm appealing to you on behalf of the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange's annual telethon to contribute significantly to this program, which will help a child or children to learn pro-social values, and let us begin to stop the violence and antisocial behavior in our country. Your dollar is important. Your contribution will help a child today, tomorrow, and for the future. I'm Donald Rudd, the Managing Director of Stop the Violence, Love Changes Lives program. these pro-social values. So we have a partnership with Edna Mandel College, our premier institution that creates arts teachers, music teachers, and artists. And some have volunteered, and some, of course, we have to give a stipend to help the children in the two schools, Edna Manley, in the two schools, Haile Selassie High and Donald Quarry High. And they are actively learning music and learning how to use music and the arts to change their behavior. And some of them will be performing, I think as early as this weekend, in a concert. That is your money being put to work, procuring instruments and providing stipends for the arts teachers. We also have the children involved in sporting programs, in counseling programs. Another strategic partner is Jamaica Theological Seminary. And Jamaica Theological Seminary, apart from creating pastors and men and women of God, they also train persons who are skilled in the art of social counseling, religious counseling, emotional counseling. And therefore, counseling has already begun. We have our social worker active in the schools, and he has begun group counseling. In fact, before we began that group counseling, we did a mixed methods survey using quantitative and qualitative analyses, administering a questionnaire, sitting in focus groups with the children, their parents, and some members of staff. So we know what we are dealing with because we have started with a data-driven activity, creating the knowledge and the information we need to respond to. So it's not a fly-by-night, scattershot type of approach. It's targeted interventions because we know the challenges that have been faced by these children. We have begun to develop trust. And that trust has brought some children here this morning because they now are willing to go with members of our staff to participate this morning. And you'll hear from them. You can speak to them because they are the beneficiaries. And at the end of the day, you're going to see how your money, how your investment, how your volunteerism has assisted. Because the children, the teachers will tell you, the members of staff, the guidance counselors, the deans of discipline will tell you that the children are attending school more regularly. They are being more punctual. They are being less disruptive in class. They are paying attention more in class. They are learning more. They value themselves more. Love Changes Lives is working, demonstrating that you care for the children and you let them recognize they have a sense of belonging to something greater than this. They don't have to belong to a gang. They don't have to belong and be, to a Don, Swissage. They can belong to something greater and create something greater for themselves and their families because love is now changing their lives. We took them to a camp up in Cranbrook Estate in St. Anne, a summer camp. Some of them were able to go. They can tell you how that helped them to transform their lives. That is how your money was spent because your money helped to pay for this summer camp for the children. So, sisters and brothers, ladies and gentlemen, we have also developing a mobile app. Technology is important in this day and age. And therefore, we are partnered with a company to develop a mobile app. So when one of these children or parent or staff take up this instrument, it's more than to play games. We can communicate with them. We can encourage them. We can continue the teaching of values, the sharing of experiences. It is going to become, our mobile app is going to become our local indigenous type of TikTok. Right? That they can share positive, wholesome messages and images with each other and with the world. So we can demonstrate that Jamaica has turned the corner from antisocial behavior and violence to pro-social behavior and uplifting activities representing really who we are, children of one God, one divine creator. And therefore, we can demonstrate more that we are truly brothers and sisters looking out for each other. As the great commandment says, love your neighbor as yourself. Love God first, but love your neighbor as yourself. But it's going to be loving our brothers and sisters as ourselves. Because the truth is, sisters and brothers, if you remember when we were children, all of us were children at one point, we had a toddler, and when your parent mother and father held our hand, we felt a sense of security and belonging to that family. We want to hold these children's hands. Some of these children where some people have written off because of just where they live and who their parents are. We need to create more hope and encourage them to recognize that they can become whoever they want to be and coach them, mentor them. So we are seeking your support to continue this program which has begun. We need your funds to continue all these programs that I've spoken about and to add more because more people are knocking on the door, more schools wanting to participate in this program where they can see the change that has occurred in the lives of their children. So again, I thank you for your contributions. I thank our partners and all of you as stakeholders who have contributed to the development of these children. And above all, we thank Almighty God that has recognized that every child here is a child which needs our validation, our love, our encouragement, our support, and a sense of well-being that he or she can make it to wherever he or she wants to be. Thank you very much. Have a good morning.
Well done, Dr. Rod. Thank you very much. We have online Consul General Oliver Mayer and also Honorable Consul Christopher Chaplin, who are a very important part of mobilizing the diaspora to support us. But just before they give their endorsements, I'm going to ask none other than Dr. Henry Morgan to come and briefly represent the Agency for Inner City Renewal, the big project, the Jamming Project. Please welcome Dr. Morgan. Stand by, CG. Soon come to you.
First, giving honor to God. Can I have an applause for the real big man, the one without which none of this would be possible. Those of you who know me would know that I have a well-earned reputation for having the gift of gab and that I'm given to verbosity, but not this morning. I'm going to be unusually brief because I've discovered something. People hardly give money while you're talking. It's when the talking is done and the actions begin and the results start to come that the money materializes. Let me just give the essentials of what we do, why we do it, and what we are experiencing. But first, let me give a minute to Thanksgiving. I would like to thank the managing director of the Stock Exchange, Merlin Street Forest. I'd like to thank the chairman of the JSSC, Dr. Neville Professor Ying. I'd like to thank Nora Blake, who is the manager of the JSSC, who have given selflessly to planting these seeds that will bear fruit, that will nourish the vision that we all have for Jamaica, land we love. Thank you, my brother Knife, for so eloquently, skillfully, concisely juxtaposing entrepreneurship with social value creation. Many people do not understand that for every $1 invested by corporate Jamaica to earn money for their shareholders, the same dollar invested in social enterprises have a multiplier effect of sometimes 9. Am I telling the truth or am I telling the truth? So that tells you where you need to invest. When my love affair with Trenchtown began and I made that faithful, I didn't say faithful because I'm a Christian, faithful move from New Kingston to Trenchtown, a community from which I do not hail. I didn't know at the time that Trenchtown was a better known brand than the capital city of Jamaica. I didn't know that Trenchtown was the birthplace of reggae and much of the associated culture. My knowledge was mainly formed from the 7 p.m. news, from the press. I didn't say the press. And that was the limit of my knowledge. But I'm telling you, there is gold in these communities to be mined. There is. The Jamming Project, Jamming, Jamaica Music Institute, seeks to live out a value proposition that the community actually developed through focus groups. And it simply says, Trenchtown, the Mecca and Mecca of reggae. Mecca, M-E-K-K-A, being the patronization, of the word maker. And of course, Mecca. We have no problem with Japan and all these other countries claiming to be the birthplace of reggae. As a matter of fact, we're glad we have a product that's now shared worldwide. But the Mecca and the Mecca are Trenchtown. And through the JSSE, clap your hands for the JSSE. And while you're clapping your hands, reach one down into your pocket and get ready to give. Imagine if in Trenchtown you had a world-class studio. I don't mean no little dibby something where people mostly associate with inner city people who don't deserve much. Me talk about the best. Imagine if you had the Caribbean's only certified Pro Tools engineering course. Imagine, well, you don't have to imagine because it exists. It exists. You can come and see and experience. We soon be having a launch. So there's evidence that the money has done what it should. But finally, there's one thing with progress. The higher you climb is the more you see the largeness of the promised land. So now we want a world-class learning center, and we want a live room. And so we are back this year with a request not to do what has already been done, but to break new territory. Can I just end by crying on your shoulders a little bit? I sometimes wonder, what if God in his infinite wisdom had given Trenchtown and reggae to America? Well, again, you don't have to imagine. All you have to look is Graceland, where Elvis Presley lived in Memphis, Tennessee. It's a private property. The government made it a national monument. It earns more for Atlanta than the whole tourism industry in Jamaica. I think it's an indictment on us as Jamaicans, and especially without being racial on black people, that we can have this kind of wealth and we can't mine it. But to leverage an asset, you do need investment. We crave your further investment in dollars and in cents. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Henley. Very passionate plea, as usual. jsscja.com. You can make your donations online. Very quickly, we have 2 diplomats online who have been here for a while, and we definitely need to apologize for keeping you so long, but I'm now going to ask Honorary Consul Chris Chaplin to go ahead and make your remarks. Looking forward to it. Followed very closely by Consul General Oliver Mayer. Kemar, over to you. Yes, we can hear. We're not hearing you, Chris.
Yes, signal if you're hearing me.
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Good morning, everyone. Firstly, let me acknowledge Council General Oliver Mayer, who continues to do an outstanding job on behalf of our country in the southern United States. I also want to acknowledge Managing Director Marlene Street Forrest, who rumor has it that she's retiring, but I think she's too young to retire. Also want to acknowledge the JSSE team, Nora Blake, and her outstanding work, Neva Ellis, Andre Goodman. Thank you all for your outstanding work. Our consulate got involved with the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange several years ago, and I believe our first project was with Alpha Music. Our current project, which is very near and dear to my heart, is with Choose Life International, where we have established happiness clubs in schools in Jamaica, and Dr. Thomas and his team have just done an outstanding job with that program. And we expect that you'll be hearing more good news on not only KC St. George's College and Beulah All Age, but with other schools who are becoming part of the program and receiving training in suicide prevention, conflict resolution, and stress management. Our consulate fully endorses the work of JSSE, and we continue to work with the JSSE and your team to bring needed investment, because I don't regard them as donations or charitable contributions. These are investments in social infrastructure of Jamaica, and they will provide very strong returns in the future. So I'll close by just saying that we support you, love you, we're with you, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much, Honorary Council. And we look forward to working with you close as we continue to mobilize the diaspora. Council General Oliver Mayer, my friend from when? Welcome.
My friends. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, pleasure to be here. I bring you greetings from our Jamaicans living abroad, especially here in the southern United States. At the consulate, we cover 13 states: Florida, Georgia, Texas, North and South Carolina, Louisiana, Tennessee. We go as far west as Arizona. And so I bring greetings our Jamaicans. And just want to say it's a privilege to continue this partnership with the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. I feel like a member of the family. Once I'm in Jamaica, I have to stop by the stock exchange and visit Mrs. Street Forrest and Nora, my good friend Nora Blake. Of course, you, Andre Gooden, and the entire team, Neville Ellis. And always a pleasure, and kudos on the work you continue to do. I want to recognize members of the clergy there in the audience. The different project leads, including my former professor, Dr. Henley Morgan. As I listened to the different presentations, the famous words from Mr. Frederick Douglass came to mind. It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. And a lot of our programs, the 3 programs, are highlighted at our children or young adults, even though they go across the board. But it's so important, the work that's taking place here in the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. And so we join in supporting and endorsing the program. We'll be promoting it on our different social media platforms, as well as having a watch party and the different events that take place here in the community. We will be highlighting opportunities for the community to give back. I want to recognize a couple of our festivals, especially our Atlanta Jerk Festival, that actually donated a part of their contributions, of their earnings from the recent festival to the Jamming Project. And we hope to build on that, and the Florida Jerk Festival also helped to build awareness of the various projects. Oliver Samuels has a very famous play that he did years ago, or an episode from Oliver at Large. And not because my name is Oliver, but there's a special refrain: give generously, give generously. And so I implore everybody listening to give generously. These are critical programs, and we all need to play our part in ensuring that our underserved community gets as much support from us, and especially as we as we celebrate Christmas. Let us give God thanks for what He has done for us individually, what He has done for us as a community, what He has done for us as a country. We must give God thanks. He has done so much for us. But to whom much is given, much is required. And we who may have a little extra in our pockets, let us give back to our less fortunate and underserved. They're relying on us. And these 3 projects are excellent projects, and they need our support. Let us spread the word. And I implore everybody listening and those in the audience, not just to spread the word, but also to give on an individual basis. So we will be having our own Christmas concert on Tuesday, the 19th, where we have Pluto, AJ Brown, and different members of the community will be participating. And I will also use the opportunity to share a bit of some of the projects, the 3 projects that are there, so persons can make a contribution.
Great.
So with that, I want to thank you all for having us on the program and wish you all the very best. Merry Christmas when it comes, and a Happy New Year. Happy 2024. One love.
Thank you very much, CG. Thank you very much. Kemar, just before we ask Professor Ying to come forward, are we in a position to run the videos now? Or we do Professor Ying's endorsements and call to action first? Okay, Prof. Your turn. Our chairman, Professor Neville Ying, will now come forward to issue the call to action on his own endorsement on this big effort. Thank you to the diaspora members again, jseja.com. Professor Ying, you may come now, please. Please welcome him.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me join in welcoming everyone to this very special press launch today. As you all know, if you follow the news, our energy is being sapped by social problems, not the least of which is crime and violence. If you read the newspapers, watch the television, listen to the radio, we have crime in every community, we have violence in schools, people are fearful about their lives, they are in anxiety, they are in depression, and that's the reason why we are here today. Because our 3 projects which we are inviting you to make a financial donation really is a very important start to tackle all of these problems we have in Jamaica. In Jamaica, we have 2 choices. We can either sit back and do nothing, or, like what we're trying to do in the 3 projects, is to go out there and tackle the problems and make a difference and get Jamaica back on track in terms of its own development. What I would like to say is that our mission today is really to invite individuals, organizations, foundations to donate very generously to the 3 projects that we are raising money for. Choose Life, which is really focusing now on happiness clubs in schools. Love Changes Life, which is, I like to call it, the project which is trying to stop violence in schools. And thirdly, the Jamaica Music Institute in Trenchtown, which is using music to really change around the lives of people. What I'd also like you to remember is that in terms of the spirit of Christmas, we would like you to demonstrate two very important attributes of being a servant leader. One is caring, and the other is sharing. And while you donate, remember two very important tenets. First of all, it's in giving that we receive. And secondly, when we serve others, it adds meaning to our lives. With that said, it's my pleasure to endorse the donations and the pledges that are coming in, and look forward to more money today and when we have the telethon on the 15th to the 17th of December. Thank you.
Thank you very much again, sir. Professor Ying. The pledges are coming in, and we're happy to report more and more pledges coming in, and we thank those who have already pledged. If you can't pay us in December, we can pay us in January, and just make a pledge and we'll call you. Or February, as DeMario has said. All year. But we definitely have a target that we need to make. So, jsscja.com, or you can go to the Jamaica Stock Exchange site as well to follow us. On our social media platforms, all the information is there as well. This weekend, we'll be reading out the numbers, the phone numbers that you can call in from overseas and local to make your pledges as well. So we have all the avenues covered. The bank account information, if you want to send a wire transfer, we'll give you that as well on the website. It's on the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange website, jsscja.com. Yes, Knife, we have everything covered. All right, Kemar, could I ask you just to run the videos now, please, to give us some of the quick videos background before we ask Bishop Thomas to join us.
I'm Donald Rudd, the Managing Director of Stop the Violence, Love Changes Lives program. I'm appealing to you on behalf of the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange's annual telethon to contribute significantly to this program, which will help a child or children to learn pro-social values, and let us begin to stop the violence and antisocial behavior in our country. Your dollar is important. Your contribution will help a child today, tomorrow, and for the future.
I am Maxine Lawrence, Vice Principal of the Donald Corey High School, situated in Harborview, and I'm here to appeal to you, corporate Jamaica, and other stakeholders to be a part of the Love Changes Life program. This is a great initiative, and it is there to help our students, and you know, they are the future of Jamaica. So I am appealing to you to come on board and partner with them.
I am Ricardo Williams, social worker on the ground for the Love Changes Life program at this beautiful school, Haile Selassie. And I just want to say that social intervention programs, they work. I am a product of social intervention. I left high school with no CXCs. It was through a social work program that I went and I did my CXCs. I got them, and I got a scholarship from another social work organization to go to the University of the West Indies. I am now a trained social worker. Look at this beautiful school of Haile Selassie. It has so many potential, and the Love Changes Life program is geared towards pushing these youths to become something positive in life. So this program is very beneficial, and I just want to say Love Changes Life program is coming to make a difference and to make an impact in our society.
I would like to say a big thank you to Dr. Rod and his team for selecting the Donald Corey High School to be a part of the pilot program. I have seen where the program has done wonders, and I just want to encourage all the persons who are able to sponsor to come on board and to make your sponsorship, because it will go a far way, and by your contribution, you will be changing the lives of many of our Jamaican young men and women. Thank you.
Okay, we will do the Saloon Project and the Agency for University Renewal videos as well shortly. But I'm just going to invite our distinguished guest presenter, none other than Bishop Everton Thomas from the Emmanuel Apostolic Temple, to please come forward with your words of blessing and call to action. Thank you very much. Please welcome him.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant good day to you. Thank you. We have come on a very special mission and a very important mission as we seek to raise funds for these three very worthy causes. I must say, all protocols observed, and in the limited time we have, if you'll allow me to just get right into the presentation. I myself have been moved to make a personal donation on behalf of my wife and myself. She's seated over there with me today. We decided to contribute, yes, to this cause, and I took it a step further and also made a pledge from my church, the organization. And we are fully in. We are all in, because we do believe that this nation has the potential to produce the best of the best. We are not only good in music and athletics, but if you look around, you will see men and women who are doing the kinds of things in terms of entrepreneurship in the informal sector that blows your mind. And studies are there to prove it. So for the next few minutes, I want to talk to you on a subject. Guess who is coming to dinner? No, them too, but the church. The church is coming to dinner. We are saying to the Jamaica Stock Exchange and to the financial sector, give the church a seat at the table. Give the church a seat at the table. The church has the largest membership base in the nation, number one. Number two, the church is strategically located across the nation. We have the largest footprint. Number three, the church has done it before, and we are ready and willing to do it again. In a report put out by the Global Entrepreneurial Monitor, GEM, which compares countries based on the prevalence of nascent and early startup entrepreneurs, Jamaica ranks as one of the highest in this survey. Our women and men have ranked as high as 4 and 12, respectively. In other words, our women are ranking at number 4 as being early startups and entrepreneurs that are not your established entrepreneurs, but they're the ones that's keeping the community going. They're the ones that's not only selling, but giving to those in need. and it is sustainable, which is very important. It is said that the social services sector, which is dominated by churches, contribute an estimated 4% of Jamaica's GDP, which is approximately $16 billion. You do the math to see what percentage the churches are contributing through the social sectors. According to Statin, the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, a census that was done in 2011, approximately 85% of Jamaicans claim to be connected to the Christian faith, right? Which is one of the highest in the world. And you know the Guinness Book of Records has made it quite clear for years now that Jamaica has the most churches per square mile, and that's in the world. If you look back to 1838, and remember when, with full freedom, many former slaves were displaced, they became homeless and jobless. Who was it that came to the rescue of those former slaves? Who was it that began to organize things so that there could be so-called free villages with the church at the center? This is what happened. And this helped to repair the spiritual and social situations that were just getting out of hand, the economic life of these unfortunate souls. We have done it before, and we are declaring we are ready to do it again. This triple bottom line approach, evident then, still characterizes the church today. The church, which is in every community, can partner with organizations like the JSSE to build a more equitable and a more inclusive country, society, and economy. Initiatives like the JSSE, which seek to give people a hand up rather than a handout. And there's a big difference. We're not asking for handouts. We're asking for a hand up. And this will help to create the kinds of endeavors and success that we need to see. I am therefore calling on everyone who is able to support this annual Yuletide television telethon, knowing that it's going to a good cause, to dig as deep as you possibly can and support the JSSE Yuletide Telethon as we seek to raise $40 billion. For $40 million. Well, next time it should be billion, right? This is prophetic. I am prophesying. But this year, we are seeking to raise $40 million. And we will support these three causes. You've already heard from them, and I need not repeat it. But I do believe that it's time for the church and the private sector to work together on a national scale. We have heard of PPP, public-private partnerships, which we know have achieved very much, like building over of the major infrastructure in society locally, and we applaud that. But in addition to that, I think the church can also partner in what we could call CPP, church-private partnerships, that address some of our major on-the-ground issues like education, like skills training, crime and financial literacy, etc. There is no entity in Jamaica, again, I say, that has a wider footprint than the church. Can you imagine if we got together and started partnering with companies like Edufocal, One-on-One, and I Create, who have a focus on providing education at different levels for different groups? Imagine what could happen if we, the churches, could do such partnerships and make our spaces available for people in the communities to come for these trainings. for people in the community to be trained in robotics, for people in the community where these kids could come and learn coding. We already have buildings. We already have facilities that are located all over the island. And I'm calling for these kinds of partnerships with private sector to both train selected individuals and churches in mediation and conflict resolution. The Ministry of Justice has signed a memorandum of understanding a couple of years ago with the umbrella groups of churches in what is called a kind of community intervention that is making a difference. Restorative justice practices, where the aim is to bring the offender with the offended and to help them to resolve by forgiving and then moving back in the community at one and in peace, so there is a reconciliation. The church is already doing that, and we want to see more of this. So I call on the churches to get involved in this kind of training so we can provide the facilities and the individuals. Guidance counselors fill our churches. Counselors fill our churches. Pastors and pastors' wives, pastoral counselors who can give an hour per week, 2 hours per week to make a difference. Finally, one of the biggest problems we have in the church, and I should have said too, the church could partner with companies like Grace Kennedy, Spur Tree, to run a national campaign on agriculture. But my time is limited. But that's where we need to really go. Church partnering with the brokerage house for financial literacy and broadening the pool of people who invest in Jamaica, because we have money and we can invest it right here in our own island. Finally, we have a big problem. And you know it, I know it, the world knows it. Jamaica today faces monumental problems which threaten to dim and darken our prospects. Of greatest concern is crime and violence, and more specifically, intentional homicide, which at 55 per 100,000 persons in the populace is almost 10 times the world average of 6 per 100,000, according to UNODC, the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime. It is estimated that this level of violent crimes cost Jamaica 4.5% of GDP annually. Just think of that. But you know, in a recent cartoon, to the consternation of many of my members and fellow Christian believers, and even just Jamaicans on a whole, the church, our church, was caricatured in a very grotesque way of mischaracterizing the message of the power of forgiveness that we are promoting. My message is quite simple and quite clear. Reprisal killings is not the only type of killings in Jamaica. But if more people would learn to forgive one another, if when someone is a victim, if instead of the family members perpetrating revenge and contracting a killer to go kill back somebody, if we can forgive and let go, we would have less reprisal killings. If partners who are upset because their spouse is in a relationship with somebody else, and we all know how painful that is, but why does it have to result in the killing of the partner and sometimes the killing of themselves? Why can't we learn to forgive? If we do so, there would be less domestic violent cases in Jamaica. This is a fact that cannot be disputed. And so we're calling on Jamaicans everywhere to begin to practice forgiveness, because when you forgive, you heal. And when you let go, guess what? You grow. When you forgive, you heal, and when you let go, you grow. Finally, it is said that forgiveness is a complicated grace. It's not easy. but it uncomplicates my anger and helps me to see beautiful again. Ladies and gentlemen, I call upon you that are watching by television and whichever streaming you're watching, those who are here and all the members and leaders of our churches, I call upon the church to step forward with the best and biggest pledges you can as we support these three entities that's making a difference in the lives of Jamaicans. God bless you. Even those of you in the diaspora, let's pull out all the stops and do the best that we can. There's a song I want to close with that I wrote. I was told I can sing it at the end. And I get a lot of requests when it comes to singing. But I still sing anyway. I think that went over some people's head. But this song is called I Choose to Forgive. If you can run the soundtrack, we will. How can you leave me there in the pouring rain? You ought to be ashamed. You saw that I had fallen on my face. You didn't stop, you were in such a haze. Turned your face the other way. Nothing did you say, but good Samaritan came on by. If not, I would have died. But even though it hurts, I forgive you. And deep within my heart, I release you. And if you come my way, I will receive you. Because I choose to forgive you. Oh, I thought a friend in you I'd found. But you let me down. Secrets from you I kept back none. You laughed, but look what you have done. You dragged my name in the dirt, caused me pain and hurt. But good Samaritan came on by. If not, I would have died. But even though it hurts, I forgive you. And deep within my heart, I will release you. If you come my way, I will receive you. 'Cause I choose to forgive you. It's okay anyway, I still love you. It's all right, I'm not uptight, I still love you anyway. I still love you anyway. Come on. Even though it hurts, sing along. I forgive you. And if you come my way, and deep within my heart, I will release you. And if you come my way, I'll receive you. I will receive you because I choose to forgive you. Come on, say it one more time. Even though it hurts, I forgive you. And deep within my heart, I will release you. And if you come my way, I will receive you because I choose to forgive you. Come on, can I hear you? To forgive you. You did me wrong, but I've come along. I choose to forgive you. I forgive you. Say, I choose to forgive you. Oh yeah. Forgiveness is a choice. It doesn't come easily. But when you forgive, you heal. And when you let go, you grow. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Excellent, excellent. Bishop Thomas, Emmanuel Apostolic. Fantastic piece there. You got to catch some momentum. Kamari, you want to play that other video now, please?
In the hearts of two, Dr. Donovan and Faith Thomas. And today, Choose Life International stands as a beacon of inspiration and transformation. Celebrating 15 years of empowering lives, we've dedicated ourselves to helping people not just exist but truly live. At Choose Life International, we believe in the power of choice. The choice to embrace life's journey, to overcome obstacles, and to thrive. For the past 15 years, we've been there for you, providing the support and guidance you need to break free from all limitations. Our dedicated team of mentors, counselors, and volunteers has been the driving force behind our success. Together, we have seen countless lives being transformed. We have witnessed the strength of emerges when we choose life, not just once, but every single day. Through stories of resilience, stories of triumph, and stories of change, we have learned that every life is a story worth celebrating. With Choose Life International, you're never alone on your journey. As we celebrate 15 years, we're not just looking back, but forward to the countless lives we will continue to impact. We implore you to choose life, to be a part of our mission to make the world a brighter, more vibrant place.
As we look back on the years, we recognize that God has given us the opportunity to be able to touch lives. Yes, helping people live has been more than just a slogan. We can remember those days of the many people who were suicidal and have gotten help.
When I met Dr. Thomas, I was, I believe, 14, around that age, and I was dealing with suicidal issues because of everything that was happening in my life at the time. But to be honest with you, I don't see CLI as therapy. I'd like to think of it as a program which helps you to live.
I have seen lives change. I've seen hope restored. This is such a significant work, and I believe that what we are intending to do as we go global is going to be even more monumental.
We are here for purpose. Every person on the planet is here for purpose. And you may feel that you don't have any purpose, but I am here to tell you that you are born for purpose and you can live. You can choose life because there is a purpose for you to exist. And I want to encourage you to choose life.
Here's the 15 years of transformation and many more to come.
Thank you. Choose Life International, Dr. Donovan Thomas. Powerful message, well put together. And we have others that will be showing all weekend for all of the 3 projects. All weekend we'll be streaming those to encourage persons to participate further. We have one more endorsement from Chairman Lee Issa, which we will do. You want to do it now? All right, we'll do it after. But in the meantime, I'm going to ask Nora Blake, manager of the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, to move the official vote of thanks.
Thank you. Of course, it is the most enviable and wonderful job of the day to move the vote of thanks. I tell you, I'm almost moved to tears the way how the program has flowed. I am truly, truly thankful for today And this is not a part of the script. I'm now feeling, even as I listen to Mrs. Thomas, purpose. Feeling that my job is a part of the purpose for being here, taking up space on the planet. I can see how the JSSE is fulfilling the purpose of my life. So I give thanks to the Creator, and I give thanks for today's program. Let me just start by saying thank you to Demario McDowell for starting us off with such a beautiful rendition in his sonorous voice of the national anthem, which he rightly regarded as a prayer. And Bishop Alvin Bailey, it was a pleasure meeting you for the first time. Thank you for taking us in prayer to the throne and bringing blessings on today's proceedings. Thank you very much. We thank our managing director, who unfortunately had to go on to another engagement, for welcoming all of you here, opening the doors of the stock exchange, opening her own heart about the JSSE. And if I thank the MD, I have to thank the board of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, who is our parent, who has, or which has, put their money where their mouth is. We are not a profit-making arm of the stock exchange group of companies. It is our parent company that has carried us. So we thank the stock exchange, and I thank all my colleague managers and the staff here. We thank Chairman Ying, who is a repository of such knowledge and understanding of the work that we are doing and the guidance that he has given us, and for being here today. Thank you, Chairman. All our board members as well who supports the Chairman. Thank you, Director. I saw Director Denise here today. Thank you for taking the time. Those who are watching online. Let me just give a special thanks to the donors and the pledgers. You are the ones who make today a special day in a special way, because that's what we're about, right? Our end game is to raise funds through this event and the telethon to come on the weekend. I want to single out Wayne Ray. He had to go, but he came to make that personal endorsement from his group, New Innovative Energy Group, and we speak blessings upon them. All our donors, all our pledgers, thank you, thank you, thank you. To Dr. Knife, our professor, you're now probably our in-house professor, Dr. Knife, teaching us so much about the value of the social sector to the economy, the blended value approach that we know. Meaning, when I say we, I mean our government, all our decision makers now have to take in account, that it is not just traditional enterprises that will make Jamaica float. It is actually going to be the work and the input into pushing forward the social sector, the social enterprises in particular. Money spent in the social sector is investment. I heard you say that today. We are here at the stock exchange. Everybody associate the stock exchange with investments. And that's what the social stock exchange is about. So thank you for making that very clear. We do say at the social stock exchange that sustainable social growth is in fact good for business. So let's not lose focus of that we are about business, but we're also about people. Thank you, Dr. Knife. Now, the creators of that song, the telethon song, thank you, Andrew Clunis, our marketing officer, who is also a producer, who is also an artist manager. We haven't met Kadia yet, but please extend our thank you. We love that song. The musicians who worked with you and her and the technicians, thank you, thank you. The song says, keeping hope alive so that our nation can thrive. I love it. Thank you. Now our visionaries for the projects, Dr. Thomas, Dr. Rod, Dr. Morgan, and your support team. I'm just going to say thank you. I'm not going to expand. I'm not going to say anything else. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to work on these 3 projects for the nation. Our honorary consul in Philadelphia, Mr. Christopher Chaplin, and the Consul General in Miami, are our towers of strength, our focal point to the diaspora. We call upon them anytime, and they're there for the Social Stock Exchange because they are patriots, they're nationalists, they believe in Jamaica. And their endorsement for the telethon, seeing that these are investments that we're making into the Jamaican economy, is very valuable, and we thank them. And we look forward to the effort that they will be putting in over the weekend to help us to get to that target. Guest speaker Bishop Everton Thomas and his charming, beautiful wife, Jillian. How can I say thanks? That was such a powerful presentation, Bishop. I hope the children who are here with us, in particular from the schools, will take away, if nothing else, I think the message you gave us on forgiveness today: when you forgive, you heal. When you let go, you grow. That song, it's like a balm that the nation's soul needs at this time. And Bishop, I am going to take it as a prophecy, and I'm going to say, be it unto us, O Lord. Thank you. Thank you very much. May I also extend a warm thank you to the press, those who are here and those who will be covering the event for us through their virtual means. We thank you, our own local channel, cable channel, CBX, and our partnership with CVM for the telethon on the weekend. I'm paying it forward and I'm saying thanks. Our able master of ceremonies, Andre Gooden, my colleague, and the support team here at the Jamaica Stock Exchange. A big thank you from us and the projects. And I'm just gonna say thank you as a way of paying it forward to all who will be participating over the weekend during the actual telethon. Thank you, Jamaica. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Nora. Right as we close, we have an endorsement from Lee Issa, chairman of the couples group, right, Andrew? So please run that. He is also supporting our projects.
Tell me when. Hi, my name is Lisa, chairman of Couples Resorts, and I'm supporting the telethon for the Jamaica Stock Exchange for social intervention in Jamaica. I think it's a worthwhile cause, and I think all business people should contribute to this.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Issa. Couples group coming forward. And we just got another pledge here of 100,000 from Bishop Alvin Bailey. Thank you. The church stepping up big. Church stepping up big. We have another pledge coming in online. Go ahead, Kamara, if you can put that person on now. Gaining momentum, Bishop.
Good morning, good afternoon, Jamaica.
Morning,
good afternoon, Jse Yuletide Telethon. I am Mayoka. I'm Jamaican by birth, and I reside in Florida. I am a recording artist, I'm a singer, I'm a choreographer, I'm a dancer. I'm gifted in all the areas of the arts. And I am just humbled to be in this space.
We're hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we're hearing you. We're hearing you. We have been hearing you.
Okay, so do I begin? I'm sorry about that, guys. I thought you weren't hearing me. But good morning again. Good afternoon, Jamaica. Good afternoon, Jse Yuletide Telethon. I am Mayoka, and I'm Jamaican, as I said earlier, from birth, by birth. I reside in Florida. I'm a recording artist. I'm a singer, a dancer, a choreographer. I'm gifted in all areas of the field. And as I mentioned earlier, I am more than humbled to be in this space. We, myself and my management team, Island Breeze Entertainment, powered by the Holder Group and CMCG, heard about the Yuletide Telethon from Mr. Demario McDowell, and it pulled on our heartstrings because our beliefs are also based on giving back, on developing the deprived. And it reflects also in my music. I just released my EP and it included a very powerful song, one of my favorites, entitled Anything is Possible. So we believe that this telethon will build a better Jamaica. I mean, love is actually all we need. Love do change lives. I mean, happiness in schools matters. I mean, suicide prevention, choosing life, I mean, cultural programs, all will build a better way than sorrow. And so on behalf of myself and my management team, Island Breeze Entertainment, powered by the Holder Group and CMCG, we want to pledge 100,000 Jamaican dollars towards eradication of youth violence. I mean, in addition to our pledge, we also plan to do workshops in my alma mater, Tivoli Gardens High School, this coming January. I mean, we are the world, and the children are the future. So I just want to say thank you and happy holidays.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mayoko, for that pledge. And certainly, we hope that you'll be inspiring others in your neck of the woods to do so. As we close, I want to just run back through, just to remind you all who have already donated and thank them publicly. Design Privacy Limited, Access Financial Services, Sagicor Group, Consolidated Bakeries, JFP Limited, AMG Packaging, Fontana Group, Stanley Motor, the Emmanuel Apostolic Church, Bishop Everton Thomas, Greater Grace Temple, Bishop Holsworth, Scotiabank Group, Innovative Energy Group, Honeybun, Lee Issa, the Honorable Michael Leachin, and of course Mayoko just now. Thank you very much. We hope that, and of course Bishop Bailey, Alvin Bailey, and I noticed Bishop Bailey looked like him write 50,000 first and then him change it to 100. Thank you very much, sir. So as we go forward into the weekend, again, let me just remind you that you don't have to wait until then to donate. You can go to the JSSE website and you can select either of the projects, or you can select the JSSE general funds and we will assign the funds according to need. Thank you very much. Anybody needs help with donation online now, we have our machines in the back. We can assist you with that as well. Thank you all for coming. Dr. Naif is smiling with pride, and I know that he's also going to be empowering others to join us over the weekend. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have refreshments at the back to those who are here.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Run the track, Kemar.
Step up and give
And we can
more
take photo
this
ops
Christmas.
now.
The Jamaica
For anybody who wishes to
the second JSSE
do any handle.
Yuletide Telethon, December 15 to 17. Help raise $40 million for 3 projects on the JSSE. A musical and cultural extravaganza over 3 days, live on CBX Flow 143, Digicel 28, 1 to 4 p.m. December 15, 1 to 5 p.m. December 16 and 17. Also live on CBM television. Step up and give some more this Christmas for a worthy cause.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Step up and give more this Christmas. The Jamaica Stock Exchange will be hosting the second JSSE Yuletide Telethon, December 15 to 17. Help raise $40 million for 3 projects on the JSSE. A musical and cultural extravaganza over 3 days, live on CBX Flow 143, Digicel 28, 1 to 4 p.m. December 15, 1 to 5 p.m. December 16 and 17. Also live on CBM television. Step up and give some more this Christmas for a worthy cause.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Step up and give more this Christmas. The Jamaica Stock Exchange will be hosting the second JSSE Yuletide Telethon December 15 to 17. Help raise $40 million for 3 projects on the JSSE. A musical and cultural extravaganza over 3 days, live on CBX Flow 143, Digital 28, 1 to 4 p.m. December 15.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Step up and give more this Christmas. The Jamaica Stock Exchange will be hosting the second JSSE Yuletide Telethon December 15 to 17. Help